Discipline is not a trait you are born with. It is a skill that anyone can learn, a skill that transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. Imagine achieving your goals effortlessly. Imagine waking up every day with focus, energy, and purpose. Imagine tackling challenges without hesitation, without procrastination, and without distraction. This book will show you how. You will learn how to train your brain to resist instant gratification. You will discover how to build momentum through small wins. You will understand how energy, routines, and environment fuel your discipline. You will see how accountability and rewards keep motivation alive. And you will learn how to overcome setbacks with strength and confidence. This is not theory. These are proven methods that create real change. Every chapter is designed to give you tools you can apply immediately. Every page challenges you to act, reflect, and grow. By the time you finish this book, you will no longer see discipline as a struggle. You will see it as a path to freedom, success, and your highest potential. The journey begins now. Take it seriously. Apply it consistently. Your future self is waiting. Discipline is the key. And this book will give you the map. Voiced by Dr. Julian Vance. Chapter 1. Why Discipline Matters. Discipline is the bridge between where you are today and where you want to be tomorrow. Without it, dreams stay dreams, and goals remain words written on paper. With it, you can build the life you've always wanted, no matter how far it seems. Imagine this. You wake up every day with big plans in your head. You want to study harder, get stronger, maybe start a project, or chase a passion. But as the day goes on, distractions take over. Your phone, comfort, laziness. Suddenly, the day is gone and nothing has changed. This is what happens when we rely only on motivation. Motivation is like a spark. It lights up for a moment, but it fades quickly. Discipline, on the other hand, is a steady flame that keeps burning even when the spark is gone. It's what makes you get out of bed when you don't feel like it. It's what keeps you studying when your brain says stop. It's what pushes you to the gym when the couch looks more comfortable. Think about a soldier in training. He doesn't wake up at 5 a.m. every day because he feels motivated. He wakes up because it is part of who he is, part of his discipline. Now, imagine yourself as a soldier of your own life. Every day, you fight a small battle against laziness, against comfort, against distraction. And every time you win, you get stronger. Discipline is not punishment. Many people think discipline means living a boring life with no fun, no joy. But the truth is the opposite. Discipline is freedom. When you are disciplined, you control your time instead of your time controlling you. You control your habits instead of your habits controlling you. And that control gives you freedom. Freedom to achieve, freedom to choose, freedom to live. Imagine two students. The first one studies a little every day, even when he doesn't feel like it. The second one waits until exams are close and then panics. At the end of the year, the disciplined student is calm, confident, and successful. The other one is stressed, unprepared, and full of regret. The difference? Not intelligence, not talent, just discipline. Or think of an athlete. The best runners don't win races because they always feel like running. They win because they train every single day, rain or shine, tired or not. Discipline is what makes champions. Now let's talk about you. What do you want to achieve? A healthier body? Better grades? A strong business? Mastery of a skill? Whatever it is, discipline is the path. No shortcuts, no secrets, just consistent effort day after day. But here's the beautiful part. Discipline grows like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. At first, it's hard to wake up early, to focus, to push through discomfort. But over time, it becomes easier. What was once heavy becomes light. What was once impossible becomes normal. Picture this. You decide to read for 10 minutes every day. At first, it feels small, almost useless. But weeks later, you've finished a whole book. Months later, you've read 10 books. Years later, you're smarter, sharper, and ahead of everyone who didn't start. That's the power of discipline. It compounds like interest in a bank. And here's the secret. Every great person you admire, Every success story you've heard has one thing in common: discipline. Artists, athletes, entrepreneurs, scientists, they all practiced discipline long before they saw results. They showed up every day, even when it was boring, even when it was painful, even when no one was watching. Ask yourself this. Do you want to look back one day with regret, saying, I should have, but I didn't? Or do you want to look back proud, saying, I fought, I stayed disciplined, and I made it? Discipline is the tool that will shape your future. It will decide whether your story is one of wasted potential or one of victory. It is the difference between living passively and living with power. So from today, start seeing discipline not as a prison, but as your greatest weapon. Every small act of discipline, waking up on time, saying no to distraction, staying consistent, adds up to the life you dream of. Remember, success is not built in one day, but it is built daily. Discipline is the cement that holds it all together. This is why discipline matters, because without it, nothing great can ever last. And with it, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Chapter 2, Understanding Your Mind. Your mind is powerful, but it is also tricky. It can push you forward to greatness, or it can trap you in endless procrastination. To be disciplined, you must first understand how your mind works. The first thing to know is this: your brain loves comfort. It is designed to keep you safe, to save energy, and to avoid pain. That's why, when you try to start something difficult, like studying, exercising, or building a new habit, your brain whispers, not now, later, tomorrow. It is not because you are lazy. It is because your brain is protecting you from effort. But here's the truth. The same brain that tries to hold you back can also be trained to push you forward. Think of it like a wild horse. If you let it run free, it will go anywhere, wasting energy and causing chaos. But if you learn how to control it, that same horse can carry you across great distances. Your mind works the same way. Let's talk about habits. A habit is simply an action repeated so many times that your brain does it automatically. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't need motivation for that. You just do it. Or unlocking your phone. Your hand knows the pattern before you even think. This is the power of habits. They make hard things easier with repetition. Now, imagine if you use the same system to your advantage. Imagine if studying every day or working out or waking up early became automatic. That's possible because your brain doesn't care if a habit is good or bad. It only cares about repetition and reward. This means you can build any habit you choose. And with discipline, your brain will eventually follow. But here's the challenge: procrastination. Why do we procrastinate? Because the brain always chooses short-term comfort over long-term reward. Imagine this. You sit down to study, but suddenly you feel the urge to check your phone. Your brain thinks, this will feel good right now. Studying will give results later, but scrolling gives pleasure immediately. And your brain loves now more than later. This is called instant gratification. It's like eating candy instead of healthy food. Candy tastes amazing in the moment, but later it leaves you weak and unhealthy. Healthy food might not excite you instantly, but in the long run, it makes you stronger. Your brain constantly faces this choice: candy or health, comfort or growth, instant pleasure or lasting success. Now, picture this. Two paths in front of you. One is smooth and easy, full of soft couches, games, snacks, and comfort. The other is rough and steep with sweat, effort, and challenges. Your brain wants you to take the smooth path because it feels good right now. But here's the secret. The easy path leads to regret. The hard path leads to pride, growth, and freedom. Discipline is training your mind to choose the harder path, not because it feels good today, but because it will give you a better tomorrow. It is saying no to instant pleasure so you can say yes to long-term success. And the more you practice, the easier it gets. Let me give you an example. Imagine a student who studies 1 hour every day for a year. That's 365 hours of focused work. Now imagine another student who waits until exams are close and then studies only when forced. At the end of the year, who is more prepared? Who is calmer? Who is successful? The answer is obvious: the disciplined one. And all he did was train his brain to work for the long-term reward instead of the short-term escape. Or think of someone who goes to the gym. The first few weeks feel painful. The body resists, the brain screams, "Stay home, relax." But over time, the brain adapts. The pain turns into strength. The effort turns into progress. And one day, exercise feels natural. This is the power of training the mind. Here's another truth. Your brain releases chemicals when you do certain things. When you eat sugar, play games, or scroll on social media, your brain releases dopamine, a feel-good chemical. That's why it's so easy to waste hours on distractions. But your brain also releases dopamine when you achieve real progress. Finishing a task, solving a problem, or reaching a goal. The difference is that one is fake happiness, and the other is true achievement. Discipline means teaching your brain to love real rewards instead of fake ones. Now, let's flip the perspective. Imagine capturing your own mind like a camera lens. If you point it at distractions, it will magnify them. If you point at progress, it will magnify growth. Wherever your focus goes, your energy flows. This is why understanding your mind is the first step to discipline. So what can you do? First, become aware. When you feel the urge to procrastinate, pause and notice it. Tell yourself, "This is my brain seeking comfort." Second, break tasks into small steps. Your brain hates big, heavy work, but it can handle small wins. Instead of saying, "I'll study for 3 hours," start with 10 minutes. Once you start, momentum will carry you forward. Third, use rewards wisely. Give yourself small rewards after hard work, like resting, enjoying a snack, or watching a show. This teaches your brain that long-term effort also brings pleasure. Fourth, repeat. Repetition is everything. The more you practice choosing discipline, the easier it becomes, until one day it feels automatic. Remember this, your mind is not your enemy. It is just a machine, and you are the driver. If you let it drive itself, it will always choose comfort. But if you take control, it can carry you to greatness. Discipline begins in the mind. It is not about forcing yourself forever. It is about reshaping how your brain works. Once you master that, procrastination loses its power, and your habits start working for you instead of against you. So the next time you feel the pull of comfort, pause. Ask yourself, do I want to feed my future or feed my distraction? Do I want pride tomorrow or regret tonight? The choice is always in your mind. And when you choose discipline, you are not just building habits. You are building a new self. This is a secret. Once you understand your mind, you no longer fight against it. You guide it, you train it, and eventually, it becomes your strongest ally in building the life you want. Chapter 3, Building Small Wins. Big goals can feel heavy. When you look at the top of the mountain, the climb seems impossible. But here's the secret. You don't need to climb the whole mountain in one step. You only need to take one step today, and then another tomorrow. This is the power of small wins. Small wins may look simple, almost too small to matter, but they're the seeds of greatness. Every great achievement starts with something small, repeated again and again. Imagine you want to build a strong body. If you try to lift the heaviest weight on your first day, you will fail and quit. But if you start with just 5 minutes of exercise, you succeed. That little success gives you confidence. Tomorrow, you do it again. 1 week later, you are stronger. 1 month later, you feel proud. That small win created momentum. Momentum is everything. Think of a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, it's tiny, weak, easy to stop. But as it rolls, it gathers more snow, grows bigger, and becomes unstoppable. Your small wins work the same way. They build confidence, motivation, and energy until discipline becomes natural. Here's the truth. Intensity can inspire, but consistency transforms. Anyone can push hard for one day. Anyone can wake up early once, study once, or exercise once. But discipline is not about one day. It's about every day. And the way to stay consistent is to start small. Let's take an example. Imagine you want to start reading. If you say, "I will read 1 book this week," your brain feels pressure and resists. But if you say, "I will read 1 page today," it feels easy. You read it, you succeed, and you feel good. Tomorrow, you do it again. Soon, one page becomes 5, then 10, then a whole book. And you never felt overwhelmed because you started small. Or imagine waking up earlier. If you normally wake up at 9 a.m. and suddenly you try 5 a.m., your body will resist. You'll feel tired, frustrated, and probably quit. But if you wake up just 15 minutes earlier each week, your body adjusts. Soon, you are at 5 a.m. and it feels natural. Small wins guided you there. This is how discipline grows, through little victories. Every time you complete a small win, your brain rewards you. You feel proud, you feel progress, and you want to continue. It becomes a cycle of success. Now, picture this. 2 people want to get in shape. The first one joins a gym, trains hard for 2 hours, but only goes twice because it's too much. The second one starts by walking 10 minutes every day. Weeks later, the second person is fitter, healthier, and consistent, while the first one has already quit. Why? Because small wins beat big but inconsistent efforts. This is why I say, don't underestimate small beginnings. Greatness is hidden in them. The tallest tree once started as a tiny seed. The strongest wall once started with a single brick. And your success will start with one small daily action. Let's take another example. Studying. Imagine you want to master a subject. If you try to study 6 hours in one sitting, your mind will burn out. But if you study 20 minutes daily, over time, you'll have studied hundreds of hours. And because you stayed consistent, the knowledge stays in your mind. That's the power of small wins. Here's something important. Small wins also break fear. Many times we delay a task because it feels too big. But when we divide it into smaller steps, it becomes manageable. Instead of, I must write a book, say, I will write 1 paragraph today. Instead of, I must run 10 kilometers. Say, I will walk for 5 minutes today. The small win removes fear and builds courage. And don't forget this, small wins create identity. When you wake up early once, you think, I can do this. When you do it daily, you start to think, I am the kind of person who wakes up early. And that identity change is powerful. Because once you see yourself as disciplined, your actions naturally follow. Think about brushing your teeth. It's a small daily when you don't even notice. But over years, it keeps your teeth healthy. Now imagine applying that same mindset to your goals. Small daily wins that keep your future healthy. Here's another picture for you. Imagine a jar, and every day you add 1 small stone. At first, it looks empty, and you think your effort doesn't matter. But day by day, the jar fills up. Suddenly, it's full, and you realize those tiny stones built something big. Your small wins are those stones. So how do you build small wins? First, choose one simple action. Something so small your brain cannot refuse. Maybe 5 minutes of exercise, 10 minutes of study, or writing 1 sentence. Second, do it every day, no excuses. Third, celebrate it. Tell yourself, I did it. I am building momentum. Fourth, let it grow naturally. When it feels easy, add a little more. Remember this, slow progress is still progress. Small steps forward are better than standing still. And if you keep moving, even slowly, you will one day arrive at your destination. Don't let the world fool you into thinking success is about giant leaps. Success is about steady, small steps that never stop. The tortoise beats the hare, not because he is fast, but because he is consistent. And that's how you will win too. So, capture this thought. Your life will not change in one day, but it will change if you give 1 small win to every day. 1 page, 1 push-up, 1 early wake-up, 1 focused task. These are the bricks of discipline. Lay them daily, and soon you will stand inside the house of your dreams. This is the power of building small wins. It is not about perfection. It is about progress. It is about stacking little victories until they turn into unstoppable momentum. And once you taste that momentum, nothing can stop you. Chapter 4, Mastering Your Environment. Discipline is not only about your willpower. It is also about the space you live in, the tools around you, and the signals your environment sends to your mind. If you want to be disciplined, you must design your surroundings to help you win. Your environment is stronger than your motivation. Even the most motivated person can lose focus in a messy, distracting space. But even someone with low motivation can succeed in the right environment. This means you must shape the world around you to make discipline easier and distractions harder. Think about this. If there's a bowl of candy on your desk, you'll probably eat it without thinking. But if the candy is hidden far away, you won't. Your environment makes the choice for you. Now imagine if instead of candy, you had a book on your desk. Chances are you'd read a few pages. See how simple changes in your surroundings create different actions? This is the secret of mastering your environment. Don't fight temptation with willpower. Remove the temptation from your space. Don't wait for energy to appear. Set up your tools so action feels easy. Don't rely on memory. Create cues in your environment that push you toward discipline. Imagine you want to study every morning. If your desk is full of clutter, papers, and distractions, your brain will resist. But if you clear your desk, place only your notebook, pen, and book there, your brain receives one clear message. Study. The environment shapes your focus. Or picture this. You want to exercise at home. If your workout clothes are hidden in a drawer, you'll probably skip. But if you place them near your bed the night before, when you wake up, the message is clear. Time to move. You remove the barrier, and now the environment supports you. This is how you take control. By designing your surroundings to make the right action the easiest action. Because discipline is not about making things hard. It's about making the right choice natural. Let's take another example. Imagine two people trying to quit wasting time on their phones. The first person says, "I'll just be strong and resist." The second person deletes distracting apps, puts the phone in another room while working, and uses a simple alarm clock instead of relying on the phone. Which one do you think will win? Of course, the second one, because he changed his environment, not just his willpower. Now think about your own space. Look around your room, your desk, your home. Does it push you toward your goals or pull you away from them? Is it full of distractions or full of tools for growth? Remember, your space is not neutral. It is either helping you or hurting you. Here's something powerful. You can create zones for your habits. If you always study at the same desk, your brain connects that space with focus. If you always exercise in the same corner, your brain connects that space with movement. This is called association. Your brain learns, in this place, I do this thing. So make your environment your silent coach. Let me give you a clear picture. Imagine a library. The moment you walk in, you feel quiet, focused, ready to read. Why? Because the environment shapes your behavior. Now, imagine walking into a nightclub. You feel loud, energetic, ready to move. Again, the environment shapes your behavior. So why not create an environment in your own life that shapes you into a disciplined person? Here are simple changes you can make. Remove distractions from your main space. If you can see your phone, you'll grab it. So put it out of sight while you work. Prepare tools ahead of time. Lay out your clothes, your notebooks, your water, so action feels smooth. Surround yourself with reminders, quotes on the wall, goals written where you can see them, even a sticky note on your mirror. These cues remind your brain of who you want to be. And don't forget the power of people. Your environment is not only objects, it is also people. If you surround yourself with undisciplined, lazy friends, you will absorb their habits. If you surround yourself with disciplined, focused people, you will rise to their level. Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future. So choose carefully. Now imagine this. Two students study for the same exam. The first one tries to study in a noisy cafe, phone buzzing, people talking. The second one studies in a quiet library, phone off, notes organized. Who learns faster? Who remembers more? Who feels disciplined? The answer is obvious. Same person, same brain, but a different environment leads to a different result. So don't only ask yourself, do I have discipline? Ask yourself, does my environment support my discipline? Because if your environment works against you, even the strongest willpower will eventually fail. But if your environment works for you, even on days you feel weak, it will carry you forward. Here's a simple exercise. Tonight, before you sleep, prepare your space for tomorrow. Lay out your clothes, set up your desk, place your tools where you need them. When you wake up, everything is ready. This one small change can transform your mornings because the environment guides your actions before your brain has time to resist. Remember this, discipline is not only inside you, it is around you. The more you master your surroundings, the less you depend on raw willpower. And that makes discipline sustainable for life. So design your world like an architect designs a building. Every detail matters. Every corner can push you closer to success or pull you away from it. Make your room a place of focus. Make your desk a place of action. Make your home a place that supports your growth. Because when your environment is mastered, discipline doesn't feel forced. It feels natural. And when discipline feels natural, success becomes inevitable. Your environment is the stage where your life plays out. If the stage is messy, noisy, and filled with distractions, your performance will suffer. But if the stage is clear, organized, and designed for success, you will shine naturally. Think about an athlete before a competition. He prepares his shoes, his uniform, his tools. Everything is ready before the game even begins. Why? Because he knows the environment affects his performance. If his shoes are missing, if the field is messy, if the tools are not ready, he cannot give his best. Now ask yourself, do you prepare your environment like an athlete preparing for a game? Here's a truth. Discipline is not only about forcing yourself to do things. It's about making good choices automatic. And the fastest way to make them automatic is by shaping your surroundings. Imagine this. You want to drink more water. If the water is far away, you'll forget. But if you place a bottle right on your desk, you'll sip without even thinking. That's the environment working for you. Or imagine you want to write a book. If your writing space is full of distractions, TV, phone, noise, you'll struggle. But if your desk is only your laptop, notebook, and pen, your brain knows this is a place for writing, and you'll write more easily. This is why environment design is like setting traps for success. You build traps that catch you and push you into discipline. You don't leave your growth to chance. Now, let's talk about friction. Friction means how easy or hard it is to start an action. If something has high friction, you avoid it. If it has low friction, you do it naturally. So, if you want to build a good habit, lower the friction. If you want to stop a bad habit, raise the friction. Let me give you examples. Want to read more? Put a book next to your bed. Want to waste less time on your phone? Leave it in another room while you work. Want to eat healthier? Place fruit on the counter and hide junk food far away. This is how you win, by letting the environment guide your choices without effort. And here's the powerful part. Once your environment is designed, discipline feels lighter. You don't need to push yourself as hard because the surroundings are already pushing you forward. Think about this. A river always flows where the land guides it. Your actions always flow where your environment guides them. So if you don't like your actions, change the land. Shape the riverbed of your life. Now, let's speak about preparation. Many times, people lose discipline not because they are weak, but because they are unprepared. If you want to exercise in the morning, prepare your clothes at night. If you want to eat healthy, prepare meals before the hunger comes. If you want to study after school, set up your desk before you leave. Preparation is invisible discipline. It's the discipline you practice before the real challenge begins. Here's a story to capture this. Imagine two people want to run in the morning. The first one wakes up, searches for clothes, tries to find shoes, looks for water, and by then his brain says, too much effort. He gives up. The second one wakes up, sees the clothes ready, shoes waiting, water bottle filled. He puts them on and starts running. Same goal, same person, but different environment, different result. This is a lesson. Make success easy. Make failure hard. That's the real game of environment mastery. And remember, your environment is not only physical, it's also digital. The apps on your phone, the notifications on your screen, the websites you visit, these are also part of your environment. If you keep distractions close, discipline will always feel like a battle. But if you clean your digital space, block distractions, and keep only what serves you, focus becomes natural. Ask yourself this. Does your phone control you or do you control it? Does your desk inspire focus, or does it invite laziness? Do your surroundings reflect the person you want to become, or the person you are trying to escape? Your answers will show you where to start. So, here's a practical way to master your environment. Walk into your room right now and look at it with new eyes. Imagine you're a guest, not the owner. Ask yourself, what habit does this room encourage? What does it push me to do? If the answer is distraction, change it. If the answer is laziness, rebuild it. Turn your room into a place where discipline feels natural. And one more thing, environment also means energy. The lighting, the air, the smell, the cleanliness, all of these affect your mind. A messy room creates a messy head. A clean room creates a clear head. This is not just decoration. It is psychology. So, capture this in your heart. Don't fight your environment. Shape it. Because if you don't shape it, it will shape you. Your space is your ally or your enemy. Your tools are your weapons or your chains. Your surroundings are either pulling you backward or pushing you forward. When you master your environment, you make discipline easier than quitting. And that is when success becomes unstoppable. Chapter 5, The Power of Routines. Discipline is not just about forcing yourself to act. It is about building a system that carries you even when your motivation is low. And the best system you can ever build is a routine. A routine is a set of actions you do without thinking. It becomes part of you. It becomes automatic. And when your routines are powerful, your life becomes powerful. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't argue with yourself every morning whether you should do it or not. You just do it. That is the magic of routines. They remove the debate. They remove the hesitation. They give you structure, stability, and momentum. Now let's capture this. Imagine your life without routines. Every day feels random, unorganized, full of stress. You waste energy deciding what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. But with routines, your day flows smoothly, like a train on strong rails. The rails guide the train, and your routines guide your actions. The most powerful routines are your morning routine and your evening routine, because how you start your day shapes everything that follows. And how you end your day prepares the stage for tomorrow. Let's start with the morning. The morning is your foundation. If you wake up and check your phone first, you already give away control. But if you wake up and follow a routine that energizes you, you own your day. Imagine this. You wake up, drink a glass of water, stretch your body, write down your top 3 tasks, and start your day with focus. Compare this to waking up, scrolling through social media, rushing and eating junk. Both mornings create 2 completely different lives. Here's the truth. Your morning routine doesn't need to be long. It just needs to be intentional. Even 5 minutes of journaling or 5 minutes of deep breathing can change your mindset. It's not about perfection. It's about direction. Now, let's look at the evening routine. Most people ignore it, but it is just as powerful as the morning. Because your evening routine tells your brain, it's time to slow down, recharge, and prepare. If you go to bed stressed, scrolling, and full of noise, you wake up drained. But if you end your day with calm rituals, you wake up with energy. Capture this example. Imagine 2 people. One spent the last hour watching random videos, eating snacks, and sleeping late. The other spent the last hour reading a few pages of a book, writing down what he learned, and preparing clothes for tomorrow. Both wake up different. One starts tired. The other starts ready. This is why routines are not just habits. They are investments. The time you put into them pays you back with clarity, focus, and discipline. Here's something important. Routines remove decision fatigue. Your brain has limited energy for decisions. If you spend it all on small choices, you will have no energy for big goals. But when routines handle the small things, you save energy for what really matters. Think about Steve Jobs or Mark Zuckerberg wearing the same type of clothes every day. They didn't waste time deciding. That was their routine. It gave them freedom to focus on bigger decisions. Now, I want you to imagine your life as a building. Your routines are the pillars that hold the structure. Without pillars, the building collapses. With strong pillars, the building stands tall no matter the storm. This is how routines protect your life. But remember this. Start small. Don't try to build the perfect routine at once. That only leads to failure. Instead, add one small ritual at a time. Drink water in the morning. Write one line in your journal at night. Stretch for 2 minutes. Step by step, these rituals grow into strong routines. Here's a powerful phrase to hold on to. Discipline is not about intensity. It's about consistency. And routines give you that consistency. Let me give you a story. Imagine a man who wants to get stronger. He goes to the gym one day, spends 5 hours lifting heavy weights, and then stops for a month. Another man goes every day for 20 minutes. Who becomes stronger? The second man. Why? Because routines beat intensity every time. And this applies to every part of life. A few minutes of reading every day builds wisdom. A few lines of writing every day builds a book. A few small actions every day build a new life. Now, let's talk about identity. Routines don't just shape your actions. They shape who you are. If you write every day, you become a writer. If you train every day, you become an athlete. If you pray, meditate, or reflect every day, you become a calm and grounded person. Your routines are the proof of who you are becoming. So ask yourself, what do my routines say about me? Do they reflect the person I want to be? Or do they reflect the person I am trying to escape? If the answer hurts, use it as fire to change. And here's the beauty of routines. Once they are built, they carry you. At first, you push them, but later, they push you. At first, discipline creates the routine, but later, the routine creates discipline. Capture this in your mind. Motivation is fragile. Discipline is strong. But routines are unbreakable. Build them, and they will protect you for life. So, my friend, if you want discipline, start with routines. Don't wait for the perfect plan. Start with small, intentional rituals. Anchor your mornings. Anchor your evenings. Let routines be the rails that guide your train. Because in the end, it's not the big things that shape your destiny. It's the little things you do every day. And those little things become your routines. And your routines become your life. We've seen how routines give you stability, save your energy, and shape your identity. But now let's get practical. Let's design routines you can actually follow. Because knowledge without action is just noise. Action is what turns wisdom into transformation. So here's a blueprint. It's simple, it's clear, and you can adjust it to your life. The morning routine blueprint. Remember, the morning sets the tone for the entire day. If you start strong, you stay strong. Step 1, wake up with intention. Don't reach for your phone. Don't scroll. The first thing you do shapes your mind. Instead, take a deep breath and remind yourself, today, I choose discipline. Step 2, hydrate your body. Drink a glass of water. It wakes you up from the inside. It signals your body that it's time to move. Step 3, move your body. It doesn't have to be heavy exercise. It can be stretching, push-ups, a short walk, or yoga. Movement gives you energy faster than caffeine. Step 4, feed your mind. Read a page of a book. Listen to something inspiring. Write down one thought in your journal. Even 5 minutes is enough to shift your mindset. Step 5, focus your day. Write down the top 3 tasks you must complete. Not 10, not 20, just 3. This gives you clarity and prevents overwhelm. If you only do these 5 steps, your morning becomes a launch pad for greatness. The evening routine blueprint. The evening is your reset button. It decides whether you wake up tired or ready. It decides whether tomorrow is wasted or won. Step 1, shut down distractions. Turn off screens at least 30 minutes before bed. Your brain needs calm, not chaos. Step 2, reflect on your day. Ask yourself, what did I do well today? What can I improve tomorrow? Write it down. Reflection turns experience into wisdom. Step 3, prepare for tomorrow. Lay out your clothes. Set up your workspace. Write your top task for the next morning. This small step removes morning stress. Step 4, calm your body. Stretch, breathe deeply or pray. Let your body know it is safe to rest. Step 5, sleep with intention. Go to bed at the same time. Discipline in sleep is the hidden key to discipline in life. Now here's the secret. Your routines don't need to be perfect. They just need to be consistent. Don't aim for a 12-hour morning routine if you can't sustain it. Start small. Start with 1 or 2 steps. And when it becomes automatic, add more, because building routines is like planting seeds. At first, you don't see much, but with time, the roots grow, the plant rises, and one day you look back and see a forest of discipline. So here's your challenge. Don't just listen to this chapter. Design your morning and evening routine today, even if it's just 3 minutes each, even if it's only one habit. Start now, because routines don't grow in the future. They grow in the present. And remember this truth. Your routines are not just actions. They are your vote for the person you want to become. Every morning and every evening, you are casting votes, and those votes add up to your destiny. So build wisely, build with intention, and let your routines carry you into a disciplined life. Chapter 6. Overcoming laziness and procrastination. Laziness is not weakness. Procrastination is not failure. They are signals from your brain trying to protect you from discomfort. Your mind doesn't like hard work. It doesn't like effort, and it doesn't like challenges. But here's the truth. Discipline is choosing to act even when your mind resists. Imagine this. You have a task that feels heavy. Maybe it's studying, exercising, writing, or even cleaning your room. Your brain whispers, later, just rest, just relax. That voice is natural. Everyone hears it. But the difference between those who succeed and those who fail is this. The ones who succeed act despite the voice. They push through the resistance. They act before motivation arrives. The first strategy to overcome laziness is breaking tasks into smaller steps. Big tasks feel overwhelming. Your brain sees them as mountains, and mountains feel impossible. But if you break the mountain into tiny hills, suddenly it feels achievable. Imagine writing a long essay. Instead of saying, I have to finish 10 pages today, start with 1 paragraph. 1 paragraph feels small. 1 paragraph feels doable. Once you finish it, momentum builds. Then comes the next paragraph. Before you know it, the essay is done. This works in every area. Want to clean your room? Start with your desk. Want to exercise? Start with 1 push-up or 5 minutes of stretching. Want to study? Start with 1 question, 1 page, 1 formula. Small steps overcome the inertia of laziness. The second strategy is using deadlines. Deadlines create urgency. Your brain ignores tasks without urgency. It says, later, it's fine, don't worry. But when a deadline appears, the brain shifts. It focuses. It acts. Here's a mental trick. Create artificial deadlines. If a report is due in a week, set a personal deadline in 3 days. If you want to start a project, say, I will do this by tonight. Pressure, even small, activates your action muscles. Next, shift your mindset from I have to into I choose to. When you think, I have to clean, your brain rebels. It feels like an obligation, like punishment. But when you say, I choose to clean because I want a better space, your brain sees control and purpose. Procrastination decreases. Action increases. Imagine this. 2 people have the same task, studying for an exam. The first says, I have to study. The second says, I choose to study to improve my life. Who studies with more focus, energy, and satisfaction? The second. Choice empowers your mind. Another strategy is starting before you feel like it. Discipline doesn't wait for motivation. Motivation is fragile, unreliable, and fleeting. Discipline is acting despite not feeling like it. Think of it like lighting a fire. You don't wait for the room to warm itself. You strike a match and heat follows. Here's an example. You don't feel like running. Your brain says, too tired, too cold, too early. You start anyway. 5 minutes in, your body wakes up. 10 minutes in, you feel energy. 20 minutes in, you feel unstoppable. The action creates motivation, not the other way around. Also, create accountability systems. Tell someone your goal. Set reminders. Track your progress. Your brain responds to social pressure and visible progress. Even small accountability can overcome massive procrastination. And remember this, reward yourself for action, not perfection. You don't need to complete a whole project to celebrate. You complete a step, celebrate. You push through resistance, reward yourself. Your brain learns that acting, even imperfectly, brings pleasure. Procrastination loses its power. Now, let's talk about removing excuses. Excuses are the language of laziness. Tomorrow I'll do it. I need more energy. I need more time. All of these are lies your brain tells to avoid discomfort. Capture them. Replace them with action. Imagine this. You sit at your desk thinking, I'm too tired to study. Instead, say, I will study for 5 minutes. That's it. Start. When you start, laziness dissolves. The 5 minutes often turn into an hour. Another powerful tool is visualization. Imagine how you will feel after completing the task. Imagine the pride, the freedom, the relief. Your brain craves that feeling. Use it as fuel to act now. And here's the secret no one tells you. You can't always feel like acting first. You act and feeling follows. The mind adjusts to action, not the other way around. Action is the bridge from laziness to accomplishment. Think of procrastination as a muscle you can train. At first, it resists every action. It screams, stop, rest, delay. But the more you practice acting despite resistance, the weaker procrastination becomes. It cannot control you. Here's another example. Imagine a student preparing for exams. He feels tired. He feels distracted. He feels lazy. He decides, I'll just read 1 page. 1 page turns into 2. 2 pages turn into 10. By the end of the day, he has studied for hours without realizing it, all because he acted despite not feeling like it. Finally, remember this truth. Discipline is the opposite of waiting. The moment you stop waiting for motivation, energy, or inspiration, action becomes natural. Every act of discipline weakens laziness and strengthens momentum. Every small task you complete, every step you take, builds a life of achievement. So here's your challenge. Next time you feel lazy, procrastinating, or overwhelmed, break the task. Set a deadline. Choose to act. Start before motivation arrives. Reward yourself for progress. Visualize success. And act no matter how small. Because laziness is a feeling. Procrastination is a habit. Discipline is a choice. And when you act, even when you don't feel like it, you win. Now, let's talk about environment and context. Your surroundings either encourage laziness or encourage action. If you lie in bed scrolling your phone, procrastination wins. If your study area is ready, clean, and inviting, action wins. Imagine walking into a room where everything is prepared for work. Your notebook open, your pen ready, water at hand. Your brain sees the signals. This is a place to act. You sit down, and suddenly the task feels easier. Your environment becomes your silent partner in overcoming laziness. Another tool is time blocking. Assign a specific time for each task. Instead of saying, I'll do it later, say, from 3 to 3:30, I work on this task. When time is fixed, your mind shifts from resistance to focus. Imagine a train on tracks. Without tracks, it wanders. With tracks, it goes straight to the destination. Time blocks are the tracks for your actions. Next, let's address mental resistance. Your mind will always find reasons to delay. It will whisper excuses. I need more energy. I'll do it tomorrow. It's too hard. Your job is to respond differently. Instead of listening, say, I will start anyway. Action comes first, motivation follows. Imagine a muscle that grows only when you lift weight. Your willpower grows the same way, only through repeated action. Let's add visual reminders. Write sticky notes. Start now. 5 minutes is enough. Progress matters more than perfection. Place them where you see them often. These reminders break the spell of procrastination. They push you to act when your brain wants to pause. Now, let's use accountability partners. Tell someone what you will do today. Report back at the end of the day. Social accountability adds a level of commitment your brain cannot ignore. Imagine telling a friend, I'll study 2 chapters today. The next day, your brain wants to avoid shame, so you act. Also, remember the power of small wins. Every completed step, no matter how tiny, creates momentum. If you start a task for 5 minutes, often you will continue longer. The act of starting breaks the barrier of resistance. Your brain says, I've already begun. Let's finish. Let's practice the 2-minute rule. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. Send that email. Wash that dish. Write that sentence. Small actions create a chain reaction of accomplishment. Your brain learns. Action feels good. Laziness feels bad. Next, reward yourself wisely. After completing tasks, take small rewards, a short walk, a cup of tea, a moment to breathe. Rewards reinforce positive behavior. But remember, don't reward procrastination. Reward action, even if imperfect. And here's a crucial truth. Don't wait for perfect conditions. You'll always find reasons to delay. The room will be too messy. You'll be too tired. The time will be wrong. Action never waits for perfection. Act now. Adjust later. The first step breaks inertia. Let's talk about mindset shifts. Instead of saying, I must do this, say, I choose this because I want growth. Instead of I'm lazy, say, I'm learning to act despite discomfort. Language shapes thought. Shift your words, and your brain shifts behavior. Another strategy is visualizing success after action. Imagine the satisfaction after completing the task. Feel the pride, the relief, the energy. Your brain seeks that feeling. It becomes fuel to act, even when you don't feel like it. And here's a story. Imagine a student who hates studying math. Every day, he delays and procrastinates. He starts using small steps, 5 problems a day, then 10, then 20. He sets deadlines, tracks progress, and rewards himself. Within weeks, laziness fades and studying becomes natural. Action built habit. Habit defeated procrastination. Finally, capture this truth in your heart. Discipline is choosing to act, not waiting to feel like it. Procrastination is natural. Laziness is natural. But action is your power. Act despite discomfort. Act despite fear. Act despite excuses. Every action weakens laziness. Every step strengthens your future. So here's your challenge. Tomorrow, when you feel lazy or tempted to delay, take one small step. Break the task. Set a deadline. Choose to act. Start before motivation arrives. Reward yourself for progress. Act again. And repeat. Because laziness is temporary. Procrastination is a habit. Discipline is permanent. And you can build it one action at a time. Chapter 7, Self-Control and Temptation. Self-control is the silent force behind every success. It is the ability to say no when the mind screams yes. It is the strength to resist short-term pleasures for long-term gain. Without self-control, talent, knowledge, and even discipline lose their power. Imagine this. A delicious dessert sits in front of you. Your brain says, eat it, enjoy it now. But your goal is fitness, health, or energy. Self-control steps in and says, not now. I choose my goal over temporary pleasure. That single act, repeated over time, builds power. Every no strengthens your will. Temptation is everywhere. Your phone, social media, junk food, video games, or unnecessary purchases all whisper for instant gratification. Your mind wants comfort, ease, and pleasure immediately. But the moment you learn to delay gratification, you win. Delaying gratification is the cornerstone of self-control. It means choosing a bigger reward later over a smaller reward now. It is not about punishment. It is about seeing beyond the moment and valuing your future self. Imagine this. 2 students want to succeed. One watches videos, scrolls social media, and enjoys the moment. The other closes the phone, studies 1 extra hour, and saves a reward of success for the future. Years later, the second student reaps the benefits. Self-control has paid off. A powerful technique to strengthen self-control is replacing bad habits with better ones. It is easier to substitute than to fight directly. If you crave junk food, drink water, or eat fruit instead. If you crave scrolling social media, read 1 page of a book. The brain still receives a small reward, but it aligns with your goals. Here's another truth. Self-control is a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. Start with small challenges. Delay a snack for 10 minutes. Walk past a distraction without engaging. Say no to one temptation today. Tomorrow, say no to two. Gradually, you can resist bigger and harder temptations. Rewards play a crucial role in self-control, but the reward must come after the action, not before. When you complete a task, finish a workout, or resist a temptation, reward yourself with something meaningful. A small break, a short walk, or even a mental acknowledgement. I did it. This teaches your brain that discipline and self-control bring positive outcomes. Imagine this. You want to save money. Every time you resist buying something unnecessary, visualize the money growing in your future account. Feel the satisfaction of achieving your goal. The mind begins to enjoy delayed gratification. Self-control becomes easier. Another key strategy is environment design. Remove temptation from your surroundings. If unhealthy food is not in your house, your brain cannot reach for it. If your phone is out of reach during work, distraction loses power. Your environment should protect your self-control, not challenge it constantly. Visualization is a powerful tool. Imagine yourself at the end of the year, healthier, wealthier, stronger, and disciplined. Picture the pride of saying no today to short-term pleasure. Feel the long-term benefits in your body and mind. Your brain starts to value delayed rewards over instant ones. Now, let's talk about small daily victories. Every time you resist a temptation, you earn a mental point. Over weeks, these points add up. Self-control becomes effortless. One small no today is a foundation of a lifetime of yes to your goals. Think about habits like building a fortress. Every act of self-control is a brick. At first, the fortress is fragile, but with repeated effort, it becomes strong and impenetrable. Soon, temptation loses its power because your internal defenses are solid. Here's a story to illustrate this. Imagine a young man who loves sweets. At first, resisting chocolate feels impossible. He starts small, skipping one candy bar, then two. Then he replaces candy with fruit. Months later, he doesn't crave sugar the way he used to. He has trained his brain to prefer long-term health over instant taste. This is the power of self-control in action. Another strategy is mindful awareness. When a temptation arises, pause. Observe the feeling without acting on it. Ask yourself, do I want this now or do I want my goal more? This simple pause creates space for choice. You realize that you are not a slave to impulses. You are the decision maker. Accountability strengthens self-control. Tell a friend, mentor, or family member your goal. Check in regularly. Social support makes resisting temptation easier. Your actions become visible, and your brain values the approval of consistency. Here's a critical mindset shift. See every temptation as an opportunity to grow. Every time you say no, you train your brain, strengthen your habits, and build character. Temptation is not your enemy. It is your teacher. The more you face it, the stronger you become. Finally, remember this truth. Self-control is not punishment. It is freedom. The freedom to choose long-term results over short-term impulses. The freedom to shape your life rather than being shaped by desires. Every no you practice today is a yes to your future self. So here's your challenge. Identify one temptation in your life today. Delay it. Replace it with a better action. Reward yourself after resisting. Visualize the benefits. Repeat this process daily. Over time, your self-control grows, temptation loses power, and your life transforms. Because every time you choose the long term over the short term, you are building power, character, and freedom. And that is the foundation of true discipline. Self-control is the silent force behind every success. It is the ability to say no when the mind screams yes. It is the strength to resist short-term pleasures for long-term gain. Without self-control, talent, knowledge, and even discipline lose their power. Imagine this. A delicious dessert sits in front of you. Your brain says, eat it, enjoy it now. but your goal is fitness, health, or energy. Self-control steps in and says, "Not now. I choose my goal over temporary pleasure." That single act, repeated over time, builds power. Every no strengthens your will. Temptation is everywhere. Your phone, social media, junk food, video games, or unnecessary purchases all whisper for instant gratification. Your mind wants comfort, ease, and pleasure immediately. But the moment you learn to delay gratification, you win. Delaying gratification is the cornerstone of self-control. It means choosing a bigger reward later over a smaller reward now. It is not about punishment. It is about seeing beyond the moment and valuing your future self. Imagine this. Two students want to succeed. One watches videos, scrolls social media, and enjoys the moment. The other closes a phone, studies one extra hour, and saves a reward of success for the future. Years later, the second student reaps the benefits. Self-control has paid off. A powerful technique to strengthen self-control is replacing bad habits with better ones. It is easier to substitute than to fight directly. If you crave junk food, drink water, or eat fruit instead. If you crave scrolling social media, read one page of a book. The brain still receives a small reward, but in a way that supports your goals. Here's another truth. Self-control is a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. Start with small challenges. Delay a snack for 10 minutes. Walk past a distraction without engaging. Say no to one temptation today. Tomorrow, say no to 2. Gradually, you can resist bigger and harder temptations. Rewards play a crucial role in self-control, but the reward must come after the action, not before. When you complete a task, finish a workout, or resist a temptation, reward yourself with something meaningful. A small break, a short walk, or even a mental acknowledgement. I did it. This teaches your brain that discipline and self-control bring positive outcomes. Imagine this. You want to save money. Every time you resist buying something unnecessary, visualize the money growing in your future account. Feel the satisfaction of achieving your goal. The mind begins to enjoy delayed gratification. Self-control becomes easier. Another key strategy is environment design. Remove temptations from your surroundings. If unhealthy food is not in your house, your brain cannot reach for it. If your phone is out of reach during work, distraction loses power. Your environment should protect your self-control, not challenge it constantly. Visualization is a powerful tool. Imagine yourself at the end of the year, healthier, wealthier, stronger, and disciplined. Picture the pride of saying no today to short-term pleasure. Feel the long-term benefits in your body and mind. Your brain starts to value delayed rewards over instant ones. Now, let's talk about small daily victories. Every time you resist a temptation, you earn a mental point. Over weeks, these points add up. Self-control becomes effortless. One small no today is the foundation of a lifetime of yes to your goals. Think about habits like building a fortress. Every act of self-control is a brick. At first, the fortress is fragile, but with repeated effort, it becomes strong and impenetrable. Soon, temptation loses its power because your internal defenses are solid. Here's a story to illustrate this. Imagine a young man who loves sweets. At first, resisting chocolate feels impossible. He starts small, skipping one candy bar, then 2. Then he replaces candy with fruit. Months later, he doesn't crave sugar the way he used to. He has trained his brain to prefer long-term health over instant taste. This is the power of self-control in action. Another strategy is mindful awareness. When a temptation arises, pause. Observe the feeling without acting on it. Ask yourself, do I want this now or do I want my goal more? This simple pause creates space for choice. You realize that you're not a slave to impulses. You are the decision maker. Accountability strengthens self-control. Tell a friend, mentor, or family member your goal. Check in regularly. Social support makes resisting temptation easier. Your actions become visible, and your brain values the approval of consistency. Here's a critical mindset shift. See every temptation as an opportunity to grow. Every time you say no, you train your brain, strengthen your habits, and build character. Temptation is not your enemy. It is your teacher. The more you face it, the stronger you become. Finally, remember this truth. Self-control is not punishment. It is freedom. The freedom to choose long-term results over short-term impulses. The freedom to shape your life rather than being shaped by desires. Every no you practice today is a yes to your future self. So here's your challenge. Identify 3 temptations that challenge you most. Create a plan to resist them. Use substitution, delayed gratification, pre-commitment, and visualization. Reward yourself for success. Journal your progress. Repeat daily. Over time, temptations lose their power, and self-control becomes natural. Remember, every no today is a yes to your future. Every moment of restraint builds your character, your discipline, and your destiny. And that is the true power of self-control. Chapter 8, Mental and Physical Energy. Discipline is not just about willpower. Discipline is not just about forcing yourself to act. Discipline is fueled by energy. Without energy, even the strongest will collapse. Your mind and body are the engines of your discipline. Imagine trying to study when you are exhausted. Your focus drifts. Tasks feel impossible. Motivation disappears. No amount of willpower can overcome a depleted mind. Energy is the real power behind action. The first source of energy is sleep. Sleep is not optional. It is your foundation. Without proper rest, your brain cannot focus, your body cannot perform, and your discipline suffers. Imagine trying to run a car on empty. You can push it a little, but it will stall. Sleep fills your tank. It repairs your body. It clears your mind. It strengthens your memory and decision-making. Aim for consistent sleep. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. Even small variations disrupt your rhythm. Deep sleep is where your energy and mental clarity are restored. Missing sleep is like trying to lift heavy weights with weak muscles. You can do it for a short time, but it breaks you eventually. The second source of energy is exercise. Movement is not punishment. It is fuel. Exercise increases blood flow, oxygen, and endorphins. It makes your brain sharper and your body stronger. Imagine your body as a battery. Exercise charges it. Even 5 minutes of stretching or walking can boost energy. Regular exercise trains your mind to endure discomfort. It teaches persistence. It strengthens both body and discipline simultaneously. Next, nutrition is your fuel. Your brain and body need the right nutrients to function at high levels. Skipping meals or eating junk food drains energy. Imagine trying to power a machine with dirty oil. It breaks down quickly. Eating balanced meals, staying hydrated, and choosing nutrient-rich foods give your body stable energy. Protein, healthy fats, fruits, and vegetables feed your mind and maintain focus. Caffeine or sugar may give a temporary boost, but the crash afterwards harms your discipline. Another key aspect is managing mental energy. Your focus is limited. Multitasking drains it. Stress drains it. Overthinking drains it. Imagine your brain as a smartphone battery. Every distraction, worry, or unnecessary task consumes power. Protect your mental energy. Prioritize tasks. Avoid unnecessary conflicts. Take short breaks to recharge. Meditation, deep breathing, or a short walk restores energy faster than pushing through fatigue. Burnout is a silent enemy of discipline. Working nonstop, ignoring your body, and sacrificing rest leads to collapse. Imagine running on fumes for weeks. At first, you push through. Then your energy disappears. Motivation disappears. Even small tasks feel impossible. Consistency dies. Discipline without energy is temporary. Energy is what sustains long-term action. Let's connect this to action. To maintain energy, plan your day around your natural rhythm. Identify when your mental peak occurs. Do your hardest tasks then. Do easier tasks when energy dips. Use breaks intentionally. Don't wait until you feel exhausted. Recharge before depletion. Another powerful practice is micro boosts of energy. Take 1 to 5 minute breaks to stretch, walk, drink water, or breathe deeply. Even small bursts restore focus. Imagine your energy as a fire. Tiny sparks keep it alive. Neglecting them lets the flame die. Also, monitor your energy drains. Identify habits that sap your strength. Scrolling social media for hours. Procrastinating. Consuming unhealthy food or drinks. Negative conversations. Every drain reduces your capacity to act. Eliminate or minimize these to protect your discipline. Sleep, exercise, and nutrition work together like gears in a machine. Neglect one, and the others are less effective. Sleep restores the body. Exercise strengthens it. Nutrition fuels it. When all three align, your discipline becomes unstoppable. Imagine a person who sleeps poorly, eats junk food, and avoids exercise. Even with strong willpower, they struggle to complete tasks. Now imagine the same person with good sleep, balanced meals, and regular movement. They accomplish tasks effortlessly. Energy amplifies every action. Discipline becomes natural. Finally, remember this. Energy is not infinite, but it is renewable. Protect it. Recharge it. Invest in it daily. When your energy is high, willpower is strong. Focus is sharp. Motivation flows. Discipline is sustainable. Here's your challenge. Tonight, sleep on time. Eat a balanced meal tomorrow. Move your body. Hydrate. Observe your mental energy throughout the day. Identify drains and remove them. Recharge intentionally. Your discipline will grow stronger than ever, because discipline is not only about effort, it is about energy management. Fuel your body, fuel your mind, and your ability to act consistently, persistently, and powerfully will multiply. Chapter 9, Accountability and Tracking Progress. Discipline is easier when you are not alone. Accountability is the hidden engine behind consistent action. Tracking progress turns invisible effort into visible results. Without these tools, motivation alone is fragile. With them, discipline becomes unstoppable. Imagine this. You set a goal but never check your progress. Days pass. Weeks pass. You feel like nothing is happening. Motivation fades. Momentum disappears. Now imagine writing down every action you take toward that goal. Suddenly, progress becomes real. Your brain sees success. Action feels rewarding. Journaling is a simple but powerful tool. Writing your goals, actions, and reflections creates clarity. It forces your mind to organize thoughts. It captures what works and what doesn't. Imagine starting your day by writing, "Today, I will complete 3 tasks." At night, you review, "I completed 2, learn from 1 failure, and adjusted for tomorrow." This daily habit strengthens self-awareness and self-control. Tracking habits is another key strategy. Use a notebook, app, or calendar to record consistent actions. Even small habits matter. Imagine marking an X for every day you exercise, meditate, or read. Seeing the chain of excess grow motivates you to continue. No one wants to break the chain. This visual progress creates psychological momentum that drives discipline. Accountability partners multiply your success. Share your goals with a friend, mentor, or family member. When someone else knows what you intend to do, your brain feels social pressure to act. Imagine telling a friend, "I will run 5 kilometers tomorrow morning." Knowing you will report back makes skipping it less likely. Accountability turns private effort into shared responsibility. Another method is progress logs. Keep a detailed record of your actions, results, and insights. Imagine reviewing the past month. You see how far you've come, the obstacles you overcame, and patterns in your behavior. This perspective reinforces confidence and resilience. When motivation fades, your progress log reminds you of the power of consistency. Let's discuss rewarding milestones. Set small goals within larger ones. When you reach a milestone, celebrate it. Even small recognition strengthens your drive. Imagine completing a week of consistent studying. Reward yourself with a small treat or break. Your brain links discipline to satisfaction. Habit reinforcement becomes easier. Accountability can also involve public commitment. Announce your goals to a group, social media, or community. Public commitment increases pressure to follow through. Imagine posting, I will finish my first 10-page report by Friday. Your brain now resists procrastination to maintain credibility. Social influence amplifies self-control. Tracking progress is not just about checking boxes. It is about reflection and learning. Every week, review what worked, what failed, and why. Adjust strategies based on results. Imagine seeing that you work better in the morning than at night. You can optimize your schedule. Data informs action. Consistency becomes smarter, not harder. Accountability also builds motivation when energy is low. Some days you feel tired, distracted, or uninspired. Your internal drive may vanish. But knowing someone will ask about your actions creates external energy. It pulls you forward when your own force is weak. Let's combine journaling, tracking, and accountability into a system. Step 1. Write your goals clearly. Step 2. Break them into measurable actions. Step 3. Track daily. Step 4. Share progress with someone. Step 5. Reflect weekly and adjust. This system turns vague intentions into structured, achievable steps. Momentum compounds. Success becomes visible. Imagine the difference between two people. One works silently without tracking or accountability. Progress is inconsistent. Motivation fluctuates. The other uses journals, logs, and accountability partners. Small wins are recorded. Obstacles are analyzed. Momentum builds steadily. Over months, the difference is massive. Another important tip is visual reminders. Place sticky notes, calendars, or charts in your workspace. They constantly reinforce goals and progress. Even a simple chart showing streaks can motivate action. The visual feedback keeps your brain aligned with your objectives. Accountability also strengthens focus. When you know you will review or report actions, distractions lose appeal. Your mind prioritizes tasks that matter. Imagine preparing a weekly report for a mentor. You focus fully on the task, avoiding social media or irrelevant work. Energy is efficiently directed. Finally, remember this: accountability and tracking are tools for freedom, not punishment. They make discipline easier, progress measurable, and motivation sustainable. When you combine clear goals, daily tracking, reflection, and accountability partners, your ability to act consistently becomes unstoppable. Here's your challenge. Today, write down your main goal. Break it into daily actions. Track every step. Share your goal with someone you trust. At the end of the week, reflect and adjust. Repeat consistently. Over time, discipline will feel natural because visible progress motivates, because shared responsibility strengthens action, because journaling, tracking, and accountability make your goals real. And that is how you keep discipline alive, even when motivation fades. Chapter 10. Rewarding yourself and staying consistent. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is a path to growth. Rewarding yourself strengthens this path. Consistency is easier when your brain associates action with satisfaction. Rewards are the fuel that keeps habits alive. Without rewards, even the strongest willpower fades. When you acknowledge progress, your brain releases motivation. Action feels good. Momentum builds naturally. Imagine completing a long task. The sense of accomplishment is a reward itself. Celebrate it consciously. Recognize that your effort created real results. This feeling strengthens a desire to act again. Small rewards are powerful. Finish one task, take a short walk, complete a workout, enjoy a cup of tea, write one page of your journal, play a favorite song. These tiny rewards reinforce positive behavior. The brain learns that effort leads to pleasure. Consistency is more important than intensity. You don't need to be perfect every day. You need to act repeatedly. Small, regular actions compound into massive results. Imagine stacking bricks daily. One brick per day doesn't seem much, but after a year, you have a wall. Consistency builds momentum. Momentum builds habits. Habits build discipline. Rewarding yourself also prevents burnout. Working nonstop without acknowledgement exhausts energy. The brain and body crave recognition and rest. By celebrating progress, you maintain motivation. Even small celebrations remind you why discipline is worthwhile. Another technique is delayed rewards. Complete a challenging task first, then reward yourself. This trains a mind to value effort before pleasure. It reinforces delayed gratification and strengthens self-control. Imagine finishing a difficult chapter before allowing yourself a favorite treat. The reward becomes sweeter because it was earned. Visualizing rewards enhances consistency. Picture yourself finishing a project, achieving a goal, or reaching a milestone. Feel the pride and satisfaction. This mental rehearsal motivates real action. Your brain starts seeking the positive feeling tied to completion. Accountability and rewards work together. Share your progress with someone you trust. Celebrate small wins together. External acknowledgement reinforces internal satisfaction. Social support multiplies the power of reward and consistency. Another tip is tracking streaks. Mark every day you complete a habit or task. Seeing consecutive days grow motivates action. Nobody wants to break a streak. Your brain seeks to maintain progress. Consistency becomes natural. Remember to reward effort, not only results. Even imperfect action deserves recognition. Trying, learning, and improving is part of growth. This mindset prevents discouragement. It keeps momentum alive. It reinforces the value of persistent action. Also, design systems of small wins. Break large goals into tiny, achievable steps. Reward yourself for each step. Progress becomes visible and motivating. Momentum builds automatically. Consistency requires routine. Integrate actions into your daily schedule. Link habits to cues like time, location, or other activities. For example, meditate right after brushing your teeth. The cue triggers the habit automatically. Rewards and reinforce the behavior. Imagine life as a journey. Discipline is the vehicle. Consistency is the engine. Rewards are the fuel. Without fuel, the vehicle stalls. Without an engine, it moves slowly. With both, you reach your destination faster and enjoy the ride. Finally, remember this. Discipline grows when effort is acknowledged. Consistency grows when actions are repeated daily. Rewards create joy, motivation, and momentum. Use all three together, and your habits become unstoppable. Your discipline will no longer feel like struggle. It will feel like natural progress toward your goals. Here's your challenge. Identify one long-term goal. Break it into small daily actions. Track progress every day. Reward yourself for each step. Reflect weekly on streaks and milestones. Adjust when needed. Repeat consistently. Celebrate effort. Celebrate growth. Celebrate results. Because reward creates motivation. Because consistency creates momentum. Because small wins build unstoppable discipline. And that is the key to staying disciplined for life. Congratulations. You have learned the principles of discipline. You understand that discipline is not just willpower. It is mindset, energy, environment, routines, and accountability. It is the small actions repeated consistently. Discipline starts with your mind. You train it to resist instant gratification. You build habits that serve your goals. You replace bad impulses with positive choices. You create momentum one small win at a time. Your environment matters. You design spaces that support action. You remove distractions. You make the path to success easier to follow. Your energy is your fuel. Sleep restores your body and mind. Exercise strengthens your will. Nutrition powers focus and performance. Without energy, even the strongest intentions fail. Routines shape your life. Morning rituals set the tone for the day. Evening routines prepare you for tomorrow. Consistency turns actions into habits. Habits turn effort into discipline. Accountability and tracking progress keep you honest. Journals, habit logs, and accountability partners make your goals visible. They keep motivation alive when willpower wanes. Small wins, celebrated daily, reinforce action and confidence. Temptations and setbacks will come. You now know how to face them. You delay gratification. You replace bad habits. You learn from failures and continue. Setbacks are not defeat, they are lessons. Every challenge strengthens your self-control. Rewards are your reinforcement. Celebrate effort, growth, and results. Small wins compound into major achievements. Consistency is the bridge between intention and success. Discipline is a choice every day. It is saying yes to your goals. It is saying no to distractions. It is action aligned with purpose, even when motivation is low. Imagine the person you want to become: strong, focused, productive, and unstoppable. Every chapter you studied is a tool to reach that version of yourself. Your actions today create your life tomorrow. Start now. Apply what you have learned. Journal your progress. Build small wins. Design your environment. Manage your energy. Practice self-control. Celebrate your victories. Stay consistent. And never give up. Discipline is not a destination. It is a journey that transforms your mind, body, and life. With each choice, each action, and each day, you grow stronger. You become the person who can achieve any goal. You become unstoppable. The power is in your hands. Take action today, because your disciplined life starts now, and your future self will thank you.